Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Hello, everybody. This is Dunkel Dylan, God of Chaos. Pretty much, this is finally we're doing this. It took me a while to make this. Sorry. Actually, I shouldn't apologize. Making what ifs is not that easy. If you're getting this, that means I have a couple of things to say before we start this D&D. One, I may not be able to do D&Ds for a bit because of, well, not D&Ds, what ifs, because of the D&D I am going to be unfortunately suffering in. Firstly. Secondly, it's also because I'll probably be playing a video game with a couple of friends who will be on his channel. If you want to check out his channel, it's called Shadow Gotcha Slayer. Gotcha Slayer? Gotcha or Gotcha? I can't remember. Check out his channel. He does live streams and texting stories. If you want to check out his channel, pretty much just type it down. I don't know how to leave links in the description. I actually don't. But pretty much just check him out. He's actually pretty good. But he does live streams as well around times. You'll probably catch me in them here and there, but that's like a big if. Mostly for a lot of reasons. Now, now we get to the last part. That's actually it. That's the only things I gotta tell you all. The next what ifs I'll be working on is probably something else. Now, the other information is the reason I say I can't really do what ifs around the campaign I'm doing, because apparently, like I said, we are doing fucking high school DxD. You saw the thing. The reason I say it's gonna fucking suck, and it's not just because I hate the anime, it's also because I hate the group. I'm not a big fan of the group. They're pretty much fucking idiots, and that's saying something. But it's mostly because they're just downright just pitiful, really. They'll try to persuade me to get what they want, which is obviously something inappropriate, like sex, and they will want details of that. I'm like, no. That's the main reason why I will not be D&D with What If, because I don't want to be constantly pissed at you all. So, yeah. Here's the D&D we're doing. Well, what if Deku was the son of Battle Beast? Now, we are gonna make some altercations, probably add some races you never heard of. Pretty much here's the origin, quote, is what I would say. But really, here's how shit is going. Izuku Midoriya is the son of the Battle Beast, but his race is not human. He's gonna be full-fledged Battle Beast. Don't worry, he is gonna be like Battle Beast. He's not gonna be like a half-breed or anything like that. No. Oh, nothing like that. Not even close. He will, however, actually have the personality. He will have different personalities. Why? What personalities, you might be wondering? Well, here's the best way of saying you will see in a minute. Not my character, but the protagonist, Izuku, is pretty, in his world, it's pretty screwed up. You'll see in a minute. Pretty much what he has to constantly do in this room until he leaves, because that's how it works in this planet known as Mork, which is a home of pretty much human people who are pretty much indestructible. And I mean indestructible. You can't take them out. Like, their race is literally unkillable. Well, that's how powerful these guys actually are. don't know anything or anyone else. They only know bloody war. So that's why when I say that, you also get to know your other character. And whatnot. There's also the... So, Inko Midoriya in this world is a cold and calculated woman. Pretty much what she does is what you would expect from a place where pretty much what they're doing is pretty much just breeding. That's what Inko's job is. She only breeds, and she only breeds with the strong. Battle Beast managed to beat her mate, who she was supposed to breed with, so she breeded with Battle Beast. No one gave a shit. Literally no one. One, because it was her decision. The child, Izuku, would be one of those few people. But Izuku Midoriya is pretty much living his past years in his years in this planet. The human race of these creatures are known as Valich, which are pretty much a cold, calculated creature. I don't know what Valich is. It's just a word I made up, so don't dive too much into it. They're pretty much like Kryptonians without the weakness of kryptonite. And without being the whole power of the sun. And heat vision and all that. They just have indestructible skin. And the strength that could actually rival the Hulk. The Valich are also calculated. Cold. More cold and calculated than the Iron Hands from Warhammer. Yeah, that's how brutal they can be. They don't really fight. What I mean is, to them, fighting is only necessary when you need to fight. Like, when you actually have to be ready to kill. If that makes sense. That's what they do. That's their job. They don't immediately go out killing people unless it's absolutely necessary. Like if someone attacks their home, which the Viltrumites have done, and it actually almost drove the Viltrumites to extinction. Right, so that's how powerful these creatures are. Or even the women. So if you were hoping that Izuku Midoriya would get raped by a certain woman, you're shit out of luck. Here's the fun part. Well, to me. Izuku Midoriya would leave the planet of Gork. Mostly because, well, for starters, he has no reason to be there anymore. And what I mean by he has no reason of being there, or what I mean is he just doesn't see a reason to continue staying, is the words that I use. And it's the truth. He literally doesn't have a reason to be there anymore. His family is pretty much doing fine without him. They don't need his strength. None of the elders are sick. And he doesn't have to prove himself for the trials. What trials, you might be wondering? You won't know until sooner or later. You won't know until, like, 2 years later, is the word I would say. And so not until, like, a massive time skip, which is not going to happen for a bit. Pretty much the next one, and this is probably the most good one, Midoriya is pretty much just not, and is not needed for a mate. The next one, and this is probably the most interesting one, is the fact of pretty much he leaves the planet. Now, they can't fly. The Valech, or whatever I called them, Valech, let's just say Valech. I know it had that. They can fly, but they don't need to hold their breath. So Izuku gets to this world and pretty much brought the money that Inko has stolen from a bank in the human world a couple of years ago. Which means a couple of years ago is 2011. It's in this world it is 2045. So this is older. So when Izuku arrives, he actually pretty much doesn't really get like ghost-eyed or feared or any of that because this Earth is used to seeing weird ass shit. So a flying feline man is normal. Now, details of Izuku, because I know people are going to be wondering that, which might as well just get that over with his abilities. As I said, he's pretty much a Kryptonian. He's powerful, is the word I would say. What makes him dangerous, though, is that he does have, like, the calculations and blood. He does have, like, the fighting of the battle beast. The only difference is he's not stupid. He doesn't do honor. He doesn't do that. He's literally an Iron Hand reincarnated as a battle beast race. That's literally what he is. He's a Valoch. Now, his body structure is pretty much, well, the best way of saying it, he's pretty much Conan the Barbarian when Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing the acting thing. So, yeah, that's what he was doing, Conan the Barbarian. And then he has that guy's body build. And he is that fucking bulky. And he's that fucking dangerous. But what made it interesting is that his weapons of Izuku, I mean, he does wield weapons. His claws, his fangs, all that. He also wields pretty much weapons of the modern era. He doesn't really use his strength or any of that because he knows humans can easily be flattened like a fucking pancake. So he doesn't really use his claws or any of that. Pretty much we now start him off in a clothes store. Yeah, clothes. He's getting clothes. Because in his world, because on the planet he lives on, they literally only wear clothes similar to Romans. Why? Because their skin is, they can literally put their hand in acid and they can pull it up like they just got through a massage. That's how fucking durable their skin is. They can fly in the sun and get a tan. That's pretty much how their durability works. Or as for strength power, the best way of saying it, you're going to have to ask for Goku and Saitama to team up full, not holding back at all, just to fight this guy if he doesn't hold back, that is. Now, continuing on. Midoriya actually gets to the clothes store. He picks out a shirt that says, "Go away, I am not a nice guy, I am an introvert." Or better yet, that shirt that says, "Boys will be boy." Or, and this one's probably my favorite, beer, banter, and box. If you don't know who the fuck has that t-shirt, or best recommend it in a link in the description. Well, not a link in the description, because pretty much just look up a guy named Sergeant Ducky. Okay, he's fucking hilarious, and I always watch him if I'm in a bad mood, which is probably going to be a lot. Oh, now that I think about it, shit. Now, on to the fun part. Now, Midoriya is getting his clothes ready, and he has to make a hole. And he pretty much doesn't wear the pants fully because, well, he has a tail. Until he hears, "Freeze! On the ground now!" Oh. And when Midoriya actually looks to the left, he sees this man. He has to be, I'm going to say, 15. And he gets with his cat-like eyes, well, his cat eyes, there we go. Oh, this is where pretty much he notices a lot of problems of the male. He's jittery, his hand is shaking crazy, bloodshot eyes, white stuff coming out of his nose, most powdery white stuff, snoring a lot, jumpy. Midoriya put two to two together faster, starting a bullet that's hitting a coconut through the holes. This guy is on drugs. So, this is when the drug addict sees Midoriya. This 15-foot tall, which is actually a normal size height for a teenager in this world, which means Izuku is actually 14 years old in this world, and he's more mature than an adult. Well, because in his world, 14 is adulthood. But they have to prove to mate, because the Valach, I think I said that one right. Yeah, Valach. Valach. There we go. I finally remember the name, Valach. They literally only mate once every 25,000 years. Why do they mate? Why do they take forever to mate? Because it takes forever for them to die. The highest Valach race is, as long as they live, they can live up to 40 to 55 generations. That's how old these guys can live. And here's the thing, if you're wondering, the older they get, the taller they get. No. Well, the max height of these guys are actually 20 feet. There are some that get up to 30, but they are incredibly rare. And so they're not that fucking tall. Well, I'm gonna hear in the comments like, 20 feet, that's a fucking Titan! And no, a Titan is 90 feet. Hey, I played Dragon's Dogma 2. I know my shit. But Midoriya is half human, and so his height will be shortened. He's probably the shortest one. He's probably going to be the shortest or tallest, depending if I'm in the mood, in the game, in the anime, what if. So pretty much this is when Midoriya, you would say, it is unwise to point a gun with ill experience. You want to say that again? I'll shoot you! No, you won't. Why must you say that? You're twitching. Your hands are on the trigger, but your finger is not on the trigger bar. You're constantly moving around, and you're holding the gun horribly wrong. You're holding it sideways like some dipshit. You're trying to act tough to impress a woman and to mate, which will not work. So you have a higher chance of missing. Single target, firstly. And secondly, you can't kill me. What if I kill her? He points at the guy, the person. Go ahead, do it. You'll just help me. You pretty much will just make me not pay for the clothes I am buying. Go ahead, shoot. You're a big boy. What you said? Saying that you're tough. Shoot. Pull the damn trigger. He says in a cold and icy tone, but this is when Midoriya pretty much just dislocates the kid's wrist and takes the gun, pretty much breaking it in half. Told you. You are not a fighter. And being on drugs does not make you cool. It actually makes you look like a fucking bimbo that are willing to do anything just to get drugs. Now, be gone. And fix your life, you fucking pig. This is when the man runs and pretty much that's stuttering and cussing. How much money do I owe you? It's free, sir. Thank you for saving me. I didn't save you because I want to. I just didn't feel like stepping on blood. It's not easy to get out of shoes. Blood stains are not easy to get out of white clothing. Oh, well, still, I appreciate it. The clothes are still free. Thank you. And in case you're wondering, this is when the woman gets a good look at Midoriya. Midoriya has more of a battle beast form than anything. He has a black mane, has amber, that's what is the word I was going to say, amber eyes, and a deep mane. he has a raven black type of coat. As in fur, not the jacket. He does wear a jacket because as the fur he has is meant for very cold winters, which is what his planet is meant. His planet, it gets the coldest that planet can get is 666,000, which is normally frost death level high. Like for humans, we'd probably be turned into popsicles or worse. Or our blood would freeze. Not a fun way to die. I'm not doing big. No. But anyway. This is when Midoriya would pretty much would go outside, but he would still carry his clothes. Why would he still carry his clothes? It's mostly because to reminder where he belongs. Like I said, in his world, getting attached to someone is stupid, but memories are cherishable. To them, memories are paintings. They're art. They are pretty much a reminder to not fuck up next time and to be better than the last person. So now you're probably thinking, Ingen, does Midoriya know how to fight? Fucking obviously. Just because you're immortal doesn't mean you don't have any. Fucking obviously. Doesn't mean you're indestructible. Doesn't mean you can't die. You'll just be a lot harder to kill. Fuck. Now, Midoriya walks outside of the store, and then immediately this is when pretty much he sees the same thug. And this is when pretty much he sees some thug leader. Who is now just trying to intimidate the drug dealer. And trying to intimidate the druggie. Saying to him that he fucked up that job faster than anything. But Midoriya has no reason to be involved. As he walks away, this is when pretty much Midoriya would notice that the city is probably calm. But he also sees it's very barbaric. How do you think that? Well, he sees someone eating a deep-fried, chocolate-covered pickle. Obviously an obese man, but to him, it just makes him want to throw up. Of just the thought of it. Out of putting that disgusting thing in his mouth. Midoriya is obviously a carnivore because of the teeth. But even he knows that just sounds disgusting. So he gets on and pretty much just starts looking for a job. He knows he can't really do anything that's useful, but he might as well just look for jobs that are willing to actually pay for a bloodthirsty monster. Nothing illegal. At least not yet. Or at all, actually. So he pretty much just gets going. And this is when a car comes at his way. And this is when he sees that there's a child in it. So, without hesitation, he flies up, catches it with one hand, rips the door off, and grabs the child. When he goes down, the mother runs to him and pretty much he gives the child. She thanks him deeply. No need to thank. It's what a reasonable person would do, especially with powers like mine. And this is when pretty much he walks forward, wondering who's causing all this racket. But this is when he notices it's literally just some psychotic man with some kind of mutant. I thought this planet would be boring as hell. Looks like they have their own problems. This is when he just walks up, and pretty much this is when the creature sees him. The creature would attack Midoriya, but Midoriya being all that, he pretty much just grabs the creature by the head and just his head slams him directly in the concrete. Not too hard to kill him, but just hard enough to knock him out. So this is when he starts examining the creature. Cybernetic implants, enhancing senses, strength, durability, and also apparently enhances the vocal cord. Voice recognition of the voice has been pretty much completely torn off, unable to speak, but able to scream and shout. genitalia had been forcefully removed with the bottom half. After replaced with cybernetic implants. Ouch. Jaw size, teeth, a bigger rib cage, human, male. I hope he was asleep when he had his genitalia cut off. That would suck. Cybernetic eye. Only one. Well, that happened. This is when Midoriya would see the cops coming. I did not cause this. It was the cybernetic creature. Oh, thank you, Mr. My name is Valusha Narlach Milod Tondoch. What? Oh, right. I'm not on my planet. I'm not on Korok anymore. Just call me Izuku. Which he reads off a billboard. Izuku paste. You can't go wrong with the taste of freedom and a religion. Yes, he read it off a fucking billboard. Oh, well, nice to meet you, Izuku. Who? Are you a hero by any chance? No. Really? I thought you would be. So you don't go to UA Academy? What's that? Yes, I am mixing Invincible with UA. It's a school where you could become a hero. The hero test is starting soon. Why don't you join? Because I don't want to. Why would I join something that doesn't benefit me? Well, you get education and you would learn stuff. He raised an eyebrow. And? Do I get paid? Yeah? No. Alright. Good to know. And it's when Midoriya would pretty much not go, because he has more important things to do, like finding out where the fuck he could live. Not bad with that fight, by the way. I was wondering when you were gonna pop out of the shadows. Midoriya really knew he was being followed from the start. I'm taking the guess you're here to ask me questions. I was actually here to ask if you wish to join UA. You were talking about it with the cop. You were going to step in before I could. And you wanted to step in and to stop that man before I did. That's right. Can I ask what you are? That's none of your business. No offense. But I don't trust you. Smart. My name's Aizawa. I work for UA Academy. I can vouch for you. Do I get paid? Yes, you will be paid for working with us. You do realize my height and size, people would think I'm an adult. Okay, how old are you then? I'm 14. Whack! You do not look your age. Mizuku raised an eyebrow. Huh? Really? Where I'm from, 14 is literally the adult age. Not here. That's 21. Oh yeah, I forgot your kind age slower than mine. Do I even want to know? No, you don't. This is when Midoriya would pretty much get to UA, and this is when he would see All Might. Hello there, big... Wow, you're tall. And you are... a bunny man? Hey, I'm not a bunny. I'm All Might. I don't know who you are. Say what? I don't know who you are. I just arrived on this planet. Oh, so you are an alien. I would not hide what I am. I would not tell you where I'm from. Noted. Aizawa, quick, can we talk? Please tell me this is not a Viltrumite. I don't know. But he doesn't act like one. He's more cold and calculated. He actually knocked out a guard and disarmed a robber. I can vouch for him. I watched the whole thing. You know I can hear you. And he has good hearing. Good to know. Welcome your way. Isn't there some type of test I have to go through? Oh, right, the UA test. How good are you with writing? Writing? Oh, you mean that thing that you humans do? We do it on my planet, and we do that. Okay then. But our language is different. I fucking figured. The closest thing you'll get, the closest language you'll probably get is Greek. Greek mixed with Russian. Russian, Greek? Oh, that's an interesting combination. But I guess that makes sense. Wait, then how do you know our language? You mean the American language? It's in Japanese, Chinese, and Korea? Yeah. It's quite simple. You have primitive language instructors, and also I'm a fast learner. Got it. That would actually make sense. So, what do I have to do? This way, please. This is when pretty much he meets Nezu. You said I'd be meeting the principal, not a pet. Where is this thing's mother? Excuse me? He's an alien. Oh, this is my quirk. Your quirk? Yeah. Okay. Then is when they start talking. I see. I guess that makes sense. Will you be I hope you'll be happy to join UA Academy. I have no reason not to. I will be paid if I join UA Academy. And I have a roof over my head. I'm not bitching. Cold and calculative. Almost like a Viltrumite. Yeah, Viltrumites were a lot more colder. So, what do I do? Well, the students are going to prepare to pretty much do fighting robots. Okay. And this is when they would get there, and this is when pretty much everyone would notice Izuku. It's kind of hard to miss a fucking 15-foot tall old man. Sir, I am not a man. I'm not an adult in this country. I'm only 14. And before you judge and say my height, there are people with gigantism and taller people as well. Also, before you say how can I tell, you forget you have a pink lady who literally has a quirk. And also a frog woman. So don't say a word about anything but that. Got it? Yes sir. Mr. Izuku. Like the toothpaste? Izuku thinking, that's a toothpaste? Yeah. Sure, like the toothpaste. Your family must have been high. No, my family... No, it's just because you couldn't translate my language. Oh, you're an alien, like Mina. He sees Mina. No, not even close. Mina is something else. He remembers her kind popping up, and she remembers her kind meaning his. It was interesting. What is she doing here? What is that thing doing here? They both give each other a glare. Whatever. And this is when, after this is when, what was his name? It's been a while since I've actually done this. President Mike. Look at that hair. What is with people and fucking stupid ass hairs in anime? I'll never know. And Ida does not interrupt because, well, he doesn't want to get eaten by Izuku, who is intimidating as hell. This is when the robots will pop up, and Midoriya just, well, takes them out pretty easily. He doesn't even try to, he just punches them, throws them around, all that. You think it's time for the zero pointer? I think it will. And as he presses it, Izuku sees the giant robot. But, meh, I've seen bigger. And this is when the robot does its thing, and Nezu tries to stop it, but the button is jammed. This is when Mina and Ochako is about to be crushed, but Izuku just grabs the leg. No, literally, he rips it off. This is when he grabs the person by the... This is when he grabs the head of the robot and just rips it off. You all really need to work on your technology. I guess we do. Well, looks like you're in UA, Mr. Izuku. Very well. Doesn't get excited, does he? I don't think he knows how. I don't even think he ever lets his guard down. And so I'm gonna say the dorms are here early. And this is when everyone just keeps their distance from Izuku. Except two. Oi, big guy. Izuku sees this blonde, spiky, red-eyed, like obviously looking short-tempered guy. Nice jacket. Appreciate it. The name's Bakugo. Right there is my brother Monoma. Yep. Yeah, Monoma and Bakugo in this world are twins, actually. The only difference is one has not spiky hair and one has normal hair. And one has spiky hair, one has normal hair. Good to know. Over there, that's Mineta. Mineta in this world is not a pervert. As a matter of fact, he is the opposite. That's it. His quirk pretty much involves him just throwing balls. So he's pretty much the trapper. In his hometown, he's actually known to be a hunter. So he's a lot more scarred up than most people. Over there is Ida. Ida is Ida. He does that robot hand. Is he having a seizure? Ignore that. That's normal. And the rest. I see. This place is gonna be weird. You'll get used to it. So you're an alien, huh? What gave it away? 1, your questionable height. 2, your massive tone of voice, and I mean by deep. And thirdly, you managed to rip the leg of a giant robot the size of the Statue of Liberty with your one hand. That says it all. I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, not many people can do that. Are you half Viltrumite? No, I'm not related to those weak races. Weak races? The heroes could barely handle him in the war. How powerful is this guy? Well, anyway, you'll be meeting of some Viltrumites. Very well. You're not going to be up against it. I can tell you two are Viltrumites, are you not? Half Viltrumites, that is. How did you... Viltrumites have a unique sense of smell to my people. Pretty much you all smell like cinnamon to me. Cinnamon? Huh. What does Mina smell like? Boiled radish. Fuck you too. Okay, do you two met each other? No, we have no idea. I have no idea who that is. Nor do I plan to. Okay. You already met Ochako, another Viltrumite. Yeah, Ochako is a Viltrumite. Hi there. There. How many people are Viltrumites? Mineta raised his hand. That makes sense. And you? And Ida? Oh, I'm not a Viltrumite. I'm actually normal. 2 parents that are humans. Okay. As this is when continue, this is when Midoriya opens the door to see All Might. Hello there, young Midoriya. Hello, Bunny Man. That is not my name. That is not my name. Mind if we talk? Great. And this is when All Might just, as grabs him by the hand and forgot that he can't be pulled. I forgot that I can't pull you that easily. Yes. And so they get somewhere private, and All Might turns into a skinny form. Which Midoriya is not surprised. All Might explains his whole thing. This is when he says, I want you to have the quirk. You want to give an already all-powerful person a quirk. To what? He explains all for one. One for all. Or was it all for one? Leave in the comment section, I can't remember, so I'll just say all for one. Or was that the villain? No, all for one was the villain. One for all. There you go. Now I remember, never mind. So, you're telling me this all why? Because you want to give me a quirk. Okay, gonna be curious. How would I obtain these quirk? He pulls out his hair and says, eat this! Ow! If this is a cat joke, I'm going to kill you. No, I have to pass it down through DNA. That's the only way I can. I suppose that is a logical reason. We think it is a lot more than I expected. Are you 100% sure about this? I mean, it's either that or Bakugo. And no offense, I don't trust Belcher. I don't really trust him. I suppose that is accurate. He eats it. Yeah. That's gonna be nasty. You'll get used to it. Anyway, it's actually, I don't think I ever done Izuku having that quirk, actually. I'll have to look it up. Let's see if I did. This is when Midoriya would just grab, after Midoriya eats his, well, thing. Nope, there's your abilities. Use them well. What are you gonna do? I have a couple of years until I retire. And so this is when Midoriya would just continue his class, learning about human history, quirks, and all that, and this is when pretty much he would meet other classes. The cafeteria, he eats alone. Well, mostly just making the food that mostly taking the food that he has from the school to the cafeteria. And it's most of the usual, peanut butter and honey sandwich. But this one he sees someone sitting next to him. Hey there. Hello, Bakugo. Still sitting by yourself, huh? I like my quiet. I understand that. But why do you let me sit next to you? Because you rarely talk. Okay, that's true. So, who would you fuck in this school? No one. Seriously? Where I'm from, women have to earn a male's attention. Oh. And how do they do that? That I can't tell you. Him remembering how Inko had many mates when he was born? Let's just say it requires a lot. Or better yet, it's the best way to explain it actually is like the mate of a black widow. Oh. That is horrible. But I say that's a mercy thing. I don't want to know. Probably best you don't. Anyway, by the way, the UA Sports Festival is coming soon. What's that? It's where you get to show off your abilities and all that. Will you be joining? Unlikely. Oh, come on. Why not? One, I'm OP. Firstly. Secondly, I would just ruin the fun. And thirdly, I'd be bored out of my mind. Why do I hate it when he's right? I really like to have others to have their fun, and I'll have mine. So what are you gonna do when the US at UA Sports Festival is happening? Probably read a book. Ow. Do you do anything besides reading a book? Nope. Okay, that makes sense. I can't really force you to hang out with us. Technically you are by talking to me. Touche. Oh no. What is it? It's those jackasses. They're bullying my brother again. I got this. Are you sure? I don't want to trouble you. Nah, Monoma actually helped me making my lunch. It's my way of repaying him. And as they keep trying to mentally bully Monoma, this is when he feels like they feel a tap on his shoulder. And this is when Izuku is right behind them and pretty much giving them this menacing glare that would make the Doomslayer shiver in fear. Here. Run. Now. And so they do. Thanks. Consider this favor returned. What do you mean? You'll help me make my sandwiches all the time. It's the least I can do. Makes sense. By the way, will you be going to the USJ tomorrow? The US what? Pretty much us just going to learn history about the heroes. Might as well. I don't see a reason to not to. Cool. And this is when Midoriya pretty much goes and he sees. The morning passes because he doesn't really hang out with anyone else. He pretty much sees that Mina is sitting right next to him and he just stopped just watching him. Do you have a staring problem? Why are you here? Midoriya looks at her for once. I could ask the same for you, Your Majesty. So you do know who I am. Mina Arshana, Queen, Princess of the Pinkani people. Also known as, if you say corpse eaters, I'm going to kill you. You can't kill me anyway, that acid's not strong enough, nor is it ever going to be. I hate your kind so much. I have the same says to you. Especially with you who have an acidic blood. I guess that makes sense. But still, that doesn't say anything why you're here. I live here now. You live on this planet. Yep. Great. There's not any more coming, are they? I have no idea. I left. As soon as I turned 14. 14? So young. For you. For me, I'm an adult. Of course, to your kind. Anyway, this is when they get to the USJ. This one, Kirishima says, "Yo, look at all the fake hero. Look at the fake villains." As I was like, "The fuck do you mean fake villains?" Motherfucker, that ain't fake villains. Those are real. You want me to deal with them, Aizawa? Sure. You're really gonna let him fight alone? Trust me. Good thing I've been training with Quirk. This is when Midoriya activates the lightning thing. Now, here's the thing that makes his powers different than All For One. In this power, All For One is actually... What was the quirk called? One For All. My apologies. One For All, his quirk is... This doesn't make the lightning green. It actually is a more of a bluish black. This is when pretty much the villains attack him, and Midoriya just holds back all of his punches, pretty much knocking him out. One person tries to use a fire quirk on him, burning him, but all they did was just burn his shirt. That was my favorite shirt. And this is when he grabs the head and just slams him to the ground. This is when a villain is actually bigger than him charges at him, and this is when he kicks him in the gut and pulls a Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner. That guy? Wait, did he get that from WWE? I think he did. This is when Midoriya would get up and pretty much walk up to the villains. Release the Nomu. The what? This is when Midoriya sees the Nomu. Cybernetics, just like the previous man. And for once, the brain is actually protected. I see. Looks like I don't have to hold back on this one. This is when Midoriya's body starts toughening up. This is when the lightning starts popping it up, and Midoriya's eyes white. Open up, the Nomu charges, Midoriya grabs the arm, dislocates it, and just punch it. Just hard enough that the top body actually explodes. This is when it immediately starts regenerating. I see. Todoroki, you have a fire quirk, yeah? And in this world, Todoroki does not say the whole, I won't use your fire. Him and Endeavor actually have a decent relationship. Yeah, father and son and all that. Yeah? Burn the corpse. Now. Got it. This is when pretty much Todoroki does, and Shigaraki tries to stop him, but Midoriya grabs him by the hair and just slaps him. Knocking him out. You are a tough kid, Midoriya. Where I'm from, this is nothing. How'd you know that fire was gonna work? I didn't. I saw it I read that it off a Greek mythology of Hercules' trials, one of them involving a Hydra. Oh, cut off the head cut off of the Hydra's head, 2 more will grow back. But burn the head, but burn the stump, and it no longer grows. All Might doesn't arrive because he knows that Izuku has this. As a matter of fact, he shows up fashionably late, just to see how things go. He doesn't scream, I am here, because he doesn't need to. That's when Midoriya just said, how come you didn't show up, All Might? Dude, you literally managed to break a fridge in half. Your body is durable to survive 100% of my quirk, and also another thing, Midoriya, and this is the big one. You managed to disable a mini nuke, and it blew up on you as soon as you left the Earth's atmosphere. Here, I'm not gonna be worried about jack shit when it comes to you. Makes sense. Fucking, what do you mean makes sense? You're more chill out than anyone. So, will you be joining the US Sports Festival? Nah, too OP. At least you admit it. Anyway, skipping all that because, let's be honest, Izuku's not going to be there, Midoriya sees that Bakugo actually managed to win the Academy Award. So in the Sports Festival. Along with second place is Mina, and third place is Monoma. I'll be honest, I expected the Viltrumites to win. I suppose not. Speaking of Viltrumites, I know you're there. But come out of the window. So, you're the hero that All Might chose as successor. And you are... The name's Bulletproof. Oof. And what do you want, Bulletproof? Nothing really, just here to talk. When I heard that a big cat-like monster, a big cat-like person was going to be around these parts, I had to look for myself. So you came all the way here just to see if rumors were true. Yeah, Battle Beast was thought to be dead. Battle Beast? Big cat, white hair? Oh, you mean my father. Yeah, you're his kid? Yep. Damn, you big. You big. I don't know what your family's feeding you, but you're too damn big. Or are you an adult? I'm 14. You're fucking 14. Okay, it's good to know. Whoops. That doesn't explain anything, but okay. So, anyway, I know this is just gonna be a long shot, but here's what I'm gonna ask. I will not join your company. I was gonna suggest if you can help us with a case. What do you mean? Look, we're looking for a villain that's been working for another villain named All For One. This guy is this group is crazy. Like crazy. They literally wear snake clothing. that makes sense. I think he's also been giving all for one mechanical monsters. Yeah, how did you know? I killed one. No, yeah, I noticed. You also knocked the other one out. Why did you knock that one out? Because he was worth saving. The monster was not. I see. That actually makes sense. What will you do now? So, what are you doing now? Will you help us? Fuck it. Why not? I got nothing better to do. Thank God. I was worried you were gonna say no. I do not see a reason to say no, because if I don't help you, things will just end up being worse. Well, you were not wrong on that one, actually. So, thanks. No problem. And this is when pretty much Midoriya would follow the scent of the blood that he did. We already got information about Shigaraki. Think you can handle All for One? Sure. His all mind's okay. I'm retired like a lot earlier than expected, man. Makes sense. And this is when Midoriya would actually walk out, but he would notice a little girl. Well, in a cage when he gets to the base. What's wrong? A little girl. Is she alive? No. Died of suicide. Killed herself by starving to death. Damn. Does she have a name? Eerie. Eerie? Shit. That kid went missing. Who do you think this is? Says here it's owned property of Overall. I know him. He's one of the that bastard's the one who makes the fucking cyborgs. I'm going to kill Overall. Wait, what about the whole hero code thing? I think they will let these ones slide, don't you think? Look at the corpse and you'll understand why I say that. As Bulletproof does, he looks and damn near throws up. Let's just say the cybernetics malfunctioned on the poor girl. I'll let your imagination imagine the rest. As he enters, are you Overall? Yeah, what of it? Before he could say anything, Midoriya managed to kill him by wrenching his claws directly to his throat, killing him. No one's gonna miss you. As Midoriya walks out, this is when he sees All for One and Bulletproof already took care of him. Is he dead? Nah, man. I just knocked him out. Also knocked out all of his goons. Why'd you have trouble looking for him if you are this powerful? One, we have more things to worry about. Also, I'm still trying to find the Snake Eyes. They left. How do you know? The footprints. Ah, clever. I didn't even know you could see them. I don't. I can smell them. They're heading back to your country. I suggest you go back. Smart move. As for you, Overall... Hold up. This is when he turns around, and this is when Midoriya grabs someone by the head and knocked him out. Why was he after me? Oh well, I'll bring them both. Once he gets to them, well, he gets to Nezu and the other heroes. I believe these two are wanted. Izuku, how the fuck did you get All for One and the Hero Killer? That's what this man is. That explains it. Oh, Bulletproof hurt me. Ugh, Bulletproof. Not bad man. Misunderstood. You could judge me as well. I prefer to keep my limbs, thank you. Smart move. By the way, Overall, dead. Died before I could even get there. Was the little girl named Eerie there? I am sorry for your loss. I knew that. I don't want to know how she died. I wouldn't have told you if you asked me to. No child deserves to die like that. I'll take your word for it. Looks like I'm informing her parents. And Izuku actually became the world's #1 hero. Fighting the Viltrumites, fighting the evildoers, even making sure that Omni-Man is not killing anyone. What, does he meet his father? No, because in this world, Battle Beast died from what's his name? So pretty much like in the comics. And that was it. That's literally the one shot of what if Deku was the son of Battle Beast. Why did I not add in romantic things? Simple. His dick would be big enough to actually kill someone by accident. I know Mount Lady would have done it, but do you really think she would have the stamina to handle that beast? Also, he can live for God knows how many years. To him, that'd be kind of a waste of time. So, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This has been Uncle Dylan here, God of Chaos, and I will see you God knows when, especially if this D&D lasts a month of half a year like last time. Wish me luck.